People expect me
to stay at home,
to be nice, give up my space.
Freedom is a sense of autonomy.
But I do come from a very patriarchal world.
They see my differences first.
It was difficult to not have to be seen as a man or a woman.
I don't want to apologize for being angry anymore. Does that make sense?
I'm not afraid to say that I do believe in something great.
And I'm not going to give up.
fundamental.
Gender justice.
No exceptions.
I was born to a single mother, and my mom had me when she was around 18 years old. However, my mother left me to live with my grandparents. So all this time, my grandparents had to take loans here and there to pay for my school fees and my upkeep. My role model growing up was really my grandmother. She really had a voice. That belief, even for her being able to speak up to authority, really used to inspire me.
When I was in class 3, my parents had passed, so I had to move into an orphanage. And we used to have like some donors or sponsors coming in. The boys would get more opportunities. And that's the time that I said, hey, I need to stand up. I need to own this space. Mostly when growing up and also being in that environment of not having anyone to talk to, always being blamed. Even if you talk, people will think that you're the one who's always wrong. In our curriculum, they teach about sexual health in standard 6. And after that, it was never talked about. It was like a taboo to talk about it.
This is my home church area, and where I learned how to grow as a church girl. Whenever my mom could not have enough, the church could do a fundraising and help me pay my school fees. When a woman is raped, even in the village, they blame it on the girl. In the village, people are a bit conservative. My mom is a bit exposed. She's a teacher. I guess that's why she has at least tried to understand. I didn't just leave home to come to university. After realizing my mom was going through a number of challenges and raising finances was an issue, I thought maybe in Nairobi I'd get a job and support her. And there was this guy who told me that he's from university. I want to help you. I reached there and he grabbed me and asked me, you see, I've been waiting for this long. I told him, what? You see, now I'm helpless. I'm at his mercies. Then he grabbed me. I can say he raped me. That's how I got pregnant. I need to do an abortion. But the question is, where will I do this abortion? So I went back home, now double depressed. My mom automatically sensed, and she asked me, there is something wrong, tell us. I just found out that I'm pregnant. She was so disappointed. She was almost crying. Then my sister was so remorseful and she was telling me, no, just bring the child. If you don't want to keep it, bring it, go back to school. So I said, okay. And she smiled when I held her. The worst part, my mom was not even willing to give her name. So I thought, anyway, let me call it Leilani.
So when I was finishing high school, my desk mate and I did this play. It was about this girl who's come from a really sheltered space and gets out, and within no time she's pregnant. We finished school and I went home, and as I was sitting at my grandmother's home, I was like, wait a minute, this girl is not fictional. This girl could be me. This is not going to be my life. And that's how I started my journey in the women's rights work. To give girls a voice, to ensure that more girls have opportunities, and also to ensure that she has access to justice. Some of the problems that Kenyan women face in trying to access sexual health and reproductive rights information and services are really issues to do with how much secrecy we treat our sexuality, and we will not talk about it very openly. Akili is Swahili for just knowing what's going on around you. And then Dada is sister. So Akili Dada really is that woke sister who is able to see her potential, tap into it. Some of the opposition we face in the kind of work that we do is largely based on the churches or the religious body will push who a good woman is. There's a lot of naming and shaming, especially where sexual sin is concerned. The government of Kenya has a curriculum on sexual health and reproductive rights for students in primary school and in high school. And it's a pretty comprehensive curriculum. However, the curriculum is not implemented because the people who are supposed to be teaching the curriculum have very little training. In our Young Change Makers program, where we work with high school students, we do not shy away from giving them as much information as possible so that they know what's going on in their bodies, how to talk about what's going on, and how to even know when something wrong is happening to them. Hi everyone. Hi. How are you doing? Hi. We are all in puberty, right? So I want us to divide ourselves into groups of 5 and then discuss what changes are we experiencing in our bodies.
Some people believe that when you have the hips, you are the center of attraction, like many people are attracted to you.
If others have started menstruation and you have not yet started, you feel different from them and then you get shy.
We left a very important part of our body here, Cindy, right? We left it. So I don't know why we left it, but we will discuss. The body changes that we're experiencing. Big hips seems to be a good thing, eh? Big breasts are 50-50. Whether they are good or bad, it depends on who's asking. So technically, it sounds like you can never make people happy by how you look. Is it true? So that how I look or how you look and see yourself is something you can self-determine. Are we together? We also run a gap year program that targets girls who are transitioning from high school into institutions of higher learning. And we do know that that's a very delicate period for these girls because most of them have now this acquired status. They have a bit of freedom.
I was not lucky enough to have school fees, so I went about applying for scholarships, and Akildada had put up their scholarship. They give you that chance to say what you think. Sometimes we have misconceptions and myths or beliefs that are untrue. So they try to get these out of us so that they can clear that mentality and change our way of thinking. My brother wanted me to do law, apparently because he says I am very vocal. Then my mentor thought I'd be a good engineer. People will get views according to how they see you or how they think you are. Moving forward to university, I want to study culinary arts. I really love doing things with my hands, and from my home science lessons, have been cooking, baking, sewing. So I really feel that this is my space. I'll have to study for 7 years, but then I'm ready for the task because it is really what I want. No one is an island, you can't stand alone. So we are taught to be there for each other, to hold each other, to affirm each other that, hey, it's okay. So I used to live in South Bay, and just near there's a slum. Some of them don't have parents, some of them just live with friends. And in the long run, most of these ladies ended up getting pregnant or dropping out of schools. Na unafikiria ni nini zinafanya? Like, tuseme sometimes, so tuseme kuna rape case, unadhani nini unafanya wasichana wakogope report? The threats. So, shida hapa ni uoga.
Sema kwa cases, as in case ikifanyika, as in situpili menyamaza. Wa pili, si watazoea, itakuwa ni kama cycle sasa, si ndio? So ni hata moja, hata attempt, hata kama haja attempt to take action. Na I'm sure msiataogopa.
Be a friend to another girl. That friend who sees the first tear falling, hold the second tear and prevent the third one from falling. We should be free to educate the women. We should have platforms and security. I'll be secure if I talk about how I feel. I'll be secure if I report if I was abused. That will give women that freedom to actually speak how they feel. And we will give women freedom to grow.
I always loved talking about and defending women's rights and ensuring justice is served for women. I came across Akili Dada in 2015 when I had joined student leadership as a congress. Then we were proposed for a training by Akili Dada on leadership, feminism, human rights, women's rights. When I joined politics, junior pastors or so-called evangelists who came with the belief that women in politics are prostitutes. And they were saying that we are the kind of women who have come to do away with the moral values of society. We've really disagreed. And of course, I received threats of being chased out of church. If a man is beating a woman, a man is abusing a woman, that is wrong. Security. What do you say about security?
There's a mentality that the men feel like female students are inferior to them.
There is that peer influence that is so key amongst women. If only we could be able to make our own decisions, sound decision, know what our rights are. When you see a woman being violated, you as a woman don't just stand aside.
Those who hold cultures so much and they don't want to change with the changes will always underrate women. We can't stick to that.
I'm hopeful that given chance and enough education and awareness, I'd like her to stand, speak for herself, take care of herself, know her rights. I want her to know the truth as it is.
I think it's very empowering when a girl understands her body, knows what this body can and can't do, and actually chooses themselves what they do with this body of theirs. My son, who, because he's a boy, the day he was born, everyone was like, oh my God, oh, congratulations. I'm like, he's a child. If I'd had a girl, it wouldn't have made much difference to me. The urgency is if we don't start changing that, it means my son grows up with this entitlement that because he's a man, he deserves certain things in life without even having to work for them. If we who know what is right don't do it, it's not going to get done. It's going to wait for another generation. And then my son, when he's my age, will be fighting the same fight that I am fighting. So if we look at it as really a development issue for the girls and for either it's government or churches or whatever, I do think that there's gain for everyone.
बचपन की शादी क्यों होती है? लोगों को लगता है ना कि आप जितनी यंग लड़की लाएंगे उसको आप इतना मोल्ड कर सकेंगे। मनाइल, आप बताएं आपने क्या बनाया है?
बाप अपनी बेटी की जबरदस्ती शादी कर रहा है।